Oh yeah, this is a very, very, very long-term project. As are all of my projects, because it's not my only project, so it has to be long-term. I mean, even if it was my only project, it'd be long-term. Because to make your own video game engine and then build an entire game as a solo developer without a team is a very, multi-decade project. And then to make multiple games on top of that, that's even more decades. And then if you consider that I also have many other projects, and this is just one of my many hobbies, then you start to get the idea that this is not going to happen anytime soon. I mean, this is really, really... No, 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 I don't need that. I don't need a final boss or anything like that. It's going to be based on the life of David in the Bible. David doesn't fight Jesus in the Bible. Jesus has never even been born at that time. And even Goliath won't be the final boss, unless if I wanted to create a game that has multiple, like like the early life of David, King David. Like I could create a trilogy of games if I wanted to make sure that I make more money that way. That might be a good marketing ploy. If I were to create the first game, build hype and a good reputation, and really advertise that for a couple of years, and then release the second game, and then get media and popularity, because I have the credibility built by my first game, and so when I release the second one, it can be a lot more anticipated and get a lot more sales, since I read that most game sales come like the first few weeks of a game's release, and after that nobody talks about it. So to release the game in parts like that might be really smart, almost like chapters. Like I think The Walking Dead did it that way. They release chapters and you have to buy each chapter, so you're also getting repeat sales, because if you release the whole thing in one game, that's it, like it's over. But if you release it in parts, then you get to recharge the customer every chapter of the game. So I think releasing in like 3 or 4 chapters a longer game would be better. So I might actually do it that way and have the killing of Goliath be the final boss on the first game or the first chapter, and then release further chapters after that. That's actually a super good idea. In fact, I gotta write that down. That's fantastic. Yep. So that's how I'm gonna do it 100%. Uh, we're gonna release the game in installments. And each installment will get a bunch of people who already quit the game, and they're like, yeah, that was a good game. They'll be like, oh, it's coming out. Just like expansion packs for an MMO. Everybody comes back to that old MMO when the new expansion comes out. The same principle can apply to everyone coming back to my game when a new chapter comes out. And I can have a trailer and generate a lot of hype and get people excited about the game again. The problem is, if you're an unknown developer releasing a game for the first time, nobody's heard of you. You probably won't get much press. The majority of sales of a video game are the first few weeks of its release, and it's just going to fizzle out, and no one will have ever heard of it, and it will slide under the radar, and it will just become an unknown game. But if you release that game in chapters, the first chapter can slowly build a cult following and even go free to play after a while, or you might lower the price to like $2 per download, and then more people try it out on the Steam store or whatever, and people will start to know of it. They'll have played it. Once the price goes down, people might like kind of find it, and over the years, it can build up a little bit of a following as the price comes way down and it's been released for a while. And then when your next one comes out, you get your whole fan base back excited for the next installment. So you're getting all those sales again, remonetizing the same people. And then you're also going to possibly have a better chance of having more hype and talk about it for that next installment, because people have heard of you, and you're an established game developer and you have a game already out, and people can check that out while they wait for the new game to come out, and you can point the press to your old game and tell them you're coming out with the next chapter, and it just can build a lot more hype on itself. And so the second game release can be a lot more profitable than the first one, because now people have heard of you. So that's, I think, a really smart way to do it.